Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Estate Redefined, the best real estate show out there ever.
I think we're the only real estate show out there.
Shh, we won't tell him that. Okay, we won't tell him that. All right, so of course, you know, the man himself, I've got Ryan Newlin with me, and we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, first of all, let's just start. We keep calling this market crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, has it gotten even crazier?
It's gotten crazier. So
Golly.
I think every day
Yeah.
I hear something new that, again, yeah, there's a lot of agents in town that have been selling real estate here for 30 years.
Yeah.
I've been doing it 15, but it's like every day there's something that, I get a question from one of the agents in the office that I've never heard. Like people trying to, we really are like a mini Austin right now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of towns around the state are, but we're having people pay more than the people are asking for the houses, and lots more. And
a bidding war, really.
It's a bidding war. And yeah, buyers are picking up costs that they normally don't. Like their sellers always buy title policy here in San Angelo. And now the buyer's paying for it just to try to give the seller extra money. So they'll pick their offer. So,
So it's definitely the seller's market right now.
Definitely a seller's market. We had one the other day, or this was last weekend, and an agent in our office had a cash buyer, and I think they offered like $12,000 more than the house was being asked, and they did not get it. So someone offered more than 12.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, and we've just never seen that in San Angelo. So it's pretty wild.
So why? Why do you think? I mean,
we've talked about it some, and again, who really knows?
Yeah.
There's just not there's definitely people moving around within town. Mm-hmm. Interest rates have obviously been low for a year, so people are taking advantage of that. And I think people are moving here. You know, the military's kind of on one of their waves.
Yeah. Oh,
where,
yeah.
you know, all these, since Goodfellow serves all the branches, all the branches will kind of move their people at different times and in different ways. And we're just kind of in one of those where a lot of people are coming here in the military.
Yeah.
We'll get another one in the summer, another wave. I know there's people moving from Midland.
Yeah.
So it's just, and then again, we just came off the pandemic and we had low inventory during that, and it's just kind of all doubled down on itself and has created just very low inventory, which is the same way across the country. But yeah, we're about 100 houses on the market in San Angelo.
Wow.
A lot of those have been there for a while. So anything new that comes up, usually within 24 hours gets gobbled up by multiple people trying to buy it, and then that seller taking the best one. So
I was about to say, what you told me last time, 17 minutes? Was that the?
I think that was 17 minutes on the market that one sold. So.
Oh my goodness.
So, and that's happening daily. And it's in different, it's not just, always the top price range in San Angelo is like 150 to 250.
Yeah.
Those price ranges that kind of coincide with what a rent payment would be, but it's even on $350,000 houses are having bidding wars on them. So it's across the whole board.
Wow. So
So I think two of the things I thought about today is, we got buyers and sellers that we deal with a lot. Mm-hmm. We're just under like 30% market share in this town runs through our company. Mm-hmm. So we're dealing with a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers. I used to tell buyers, go talk to a bank first. I think I'm going to change that. Come talk to us first. Let's even find out what you want, what your goals are, and see if it even makes sense right now.
Yeah.
Same thing with sellers. I used to, if someone called me and said I lived in a certain part of town, I could tell them roughly what their house was worth. Right now, I've got to look daily because it's changing so fast. So I'm telling sellers the same thing. Like, I don't want to give you an amount over the phone, or even a rough amount. We need to look at the house and see how it compares to see what kind of bidding war you want to get in. So
exactly. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because we were talking about that. You actually need to physically see the house.
Yeah. You gotta see what's done. And there's a lot of times that you might need to do something prior to just saying my house is for sale. So you need to, to get in one of these bidding wars where someone offers $15,000 more than we're asking, you need to have your house in tip-top shape. And sometimes that's getting, maintenance done. Sometimes it's getting a good cleaner in there and just decluttering. Maybe it's staging. So we've been using a staging company and trying to really get these houses to where they're ready to go.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, 17 minutes it's sold, right?
Yeah,
and people
exactly.
want to move in quick.
Yeah, you still got to wait that 20 or 30 days. Like, that's the cool part about selling the house now. Used to, you might put your house on the market and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to show my house, 5 or 6 times a week for several weeks. And so I've got to keep it picked up. I got to get the kids' rooms picked up every morning because I don't know if I'm going to get that call. Now you just get prepared for like one day and do that one day, and then you're good after that. So
wow, that is crazy. So you talked about staging. Let's talk a little bit more of that. Just all the resources that y'all can help with. Yeah,
well, I'm trying to come up with some kind of package just because we need more people to sell their houses, and we want to help them through the process. So we work with Blue Door Staging, we work with JT Staging, and they can come in, and for, I think it's about $150, they'll come in. They don't necessarily, like everyone thinks with staging, that they're going to bring furniture in.
Oh.
That is a service that they do, like on vacant properties and new homes.
Yeah.
But what we use a lot of times is they'll go in with their eye they have for getting a house ready to sell and do like an hour or 2 consultation. Say, hey, this is the stuff you can do on your own. Do this, do this, do this. If you want to go, they might say, maybe if you want to spend some money, I'd buy this rather, So they'll give you a 1-hour consultation. So not necessarily moving your furniture out. That costs quite a bit of money to do that, but the consultation is awesome.
Yeah. And so we've had some folks who do staging before. So the things you don't think about, like you may love your family picture on your fridge, but you got to declutter that and take it off.
Yeah, you got to get those magnets off the refrigerator. You got to get the 90 picture frames out of the hallway. Yeah. So those things, and then you can, you're going to have to do it anyway. So I've always told sellers, do it now, box them up, fix those nail holes. So
all those little tiny things, those tiny details, they can come in and tell you. So, so Juan is actually watching and he's got a question.
Shoot.
What do you recommend, buying a house or build a house? And what's the difference from the two? So we actually talked a little bit about this because
I don't know. I love the question though because I get that question a lot. So buying a house right now is it's starting to pick up. I called actually the city to find out how many permits were taken in March. So there's 28 permits taken out compared to I think 15 in February. So they're starting to build. There's differences. So if you buy a new house, which a lot of people like, because they you might not get to pick the whole thing. But it's brand new. The things that a lot of people forget about on a new home is, once you move in, they might not provide a refrigerator, so you're going to have to buy that. They generally don't do any kind of window covering, so you've got to do blinds or curtains or shutters. So that's another expense on top of it. And then, especially right now, not a lot of landscaping's being provided by the builder, so you've got a blank slate to work with. But there's a lot of costs that come after you buy that brand new home. With a resale home that's already established, a lot of those things are already taken care of. But there might be things you want to change in the house once you buy it. So it's easier to find a resale home right now than a new construction.
Right.
But it's just kind of what are your goals? Do you want to go through that process?
Exactly what you want.
Yeah. And if you want it, if say you wanted to build a custom home right now, you might be looking a year or more out. Builders are having, we've talked on here about lumber prices that are just sky high right now.
Yeah.
As high as they've ever been. They haven't come down any. We are seeing price increases on other building materials now too, like metals and electrical. So those prices are going up. And then there's lack of some stuff's not going up in price, but you can't find it.
Yeah.
Like you can't find siding right now.
Really?
So if you wanted to build like a little workshop out in the back of your house, do it yourself. And usually you can go to the Home Depot and buy siding. They don't have it.
Yeah.
They get it in and then it goes out directly after. So refrigerators, they're on back order. Ovens and stoves.
Wow.
Like all kinds of things that you just take for granted that will be at Lowe's, they don't even have it. So
wow. Yeah.
So you got to plan ahead when you're building.
Yes, definitely. We've talked about this a little bit before, like with the Home Builders Association.
Yeah.
You know, we're just kind of out here. So it takes a little bit longer to get things here.
Yeah, they've got to get it shipped in, and again, everywhere across the country is having similar experiences. So it's we're not top priority over for some of these big manufacturers probably.
Yeah.
So it just these builders, I know, they're putting in their orders for stuff they used to wait to order at the beginning. So they'll have it in time.
Wow.
A builder that I work with, he's looking for a warehouse because he's like, I've got to start buying more material when I can get it, so I'll have it. You know, there's been some theft issues on the job site, so you can't keep your lumber out there any longer.
Right.
So
everything's having to kind of shift around.
Definitely.
Wow, man. So
speaking of the builders, though, if you want to talk to some builders, I would highly suggest going to the Parade of Homes this weekend.
yeah, this is the second weekend, right?
Yep, second weekend. It'll be Saturday and Sunday. They're open till 6. The houses they're gorgeous.
I've seen some pictures from people who attended.
No,
Wow.
yeah, no, I think it's just nice, and the builders are generally in there. If you want to ask them questions, you know, it might be out of your price range, but they'll build all different price ranges. So could be good.
That's good because you can actually, you know, see because we addressed it a little bit. You know, Juan, thank you so much for your question.
Yeah, definitely.
But to hear it directly from them.
Yeah, very approachable. You know, it was busy last weekend. I think it'll be more busy this weekend.
Okay.
So
how do folks get, you know, if they've never been before, they've never even heard of Parade of Homes? You know, y'all been doing it for a while, but
go to the HBASA.com website.
Okay.
So it's the home builders website, Home Builders of San Angelo, and you can purchase your ticket there. You can purchase your ticket at the door.
Okay.
So either one.
Gotcha. And so what are folks going to see when is it multiple homes?
There's going to be 8 houses and different parts of town. One's out in Wall. For $10, you get to go through all of them.
Wow.
You know, so.
Wow. So this is the opportune
this is
time.
This is the time.
That is awesome. Okay. So, I mean, what else? Because we talked a lot about, you know, beforehand, there's so much going on right now. So,
like this morning I thought about it. I called Brandon Sanders, who does a lot of commercial real estate in town, just to kind of get what's happening in commercial real estate. So he gave me a lot of information. He said it's picking up. It's getting better. So that's good.
So those commercial real estate, you know, I mean, what is that for folks who maybe
that's, you know, office buildings. I'm sorry, I need a drink of water.
Oh, you're good.
Office buildings, rentals, like your national chains in the strip centers. So people are renewing their leases, which is good. He wanted to stress just people need to still shop local.
Yes.
These mom and pop businesses have been suffering for a year now.
Yeah.
And they need the help.
Yeah, exactly. And so by helping them, by spending money there, we also get some, as a community, we get
the tax dollars, the sales tax. So that money stays here right off the bat, rather than, you know, I learned from the mayor the other day, when we shop on Amazon, the city does receive some sales tax money, but it takes a long time to get.
Yeah.
They don't get as much. It's just so good. Like, the money stays here when you shop local, and then at the same time, you're helping your neighbors, you know?
Yeah.
He said that some of these mom and pop businesses, it could take years for them to recover on what they lost over, you know, through the pandemic.
Right. Yeah, because, I mean, everybody had to shut down.
Definitely.
So, I mean, nobody was making
I know. Well, and people didn't want to, you know, you couldn't go in stores. They were nervous to go in stores, so they weren't spending money.
Yeah. So definitely, no matter what business it is, it still all has ties to.
Yeah, try to, you know, if you can find it here locally, go do it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially that lumber in the fridge.
Yeah, right.
All that stuff that's taken a while.
Everyone's guilty of trying to get. It's so easy to get online now, but you know, you just got to remember it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I'm going to try to do.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So let's see, that commercial real estate, are places even available right now?
There are some, and I've seen some new strip centers being built.
Yeah.
So there's some available, but he said it's, you know, since the election, it's picked up a lot. He said it was very slow, and it's picked up a lot. So, you know, it's not easy to find a place to to if you want to put in a business or change locations, but it is doable right now.
Okay, it is. So there's some development going on.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yes.
Awesome. So when it comes to housing developments, we talked about it's taken a while, but what about some of these? I mean, if developers are seeing this, maybe is now the time to do it. I think
the developers they're trying to get there. It's just such a long process to start that development.
Yeah.
But the demand, like everyone, just like in everything, they're going to follow. They know there's a demand for housing, and they're going to continue to try to build as many as possible. Because that's what they do for a living, and it's easier to build and sell houses now than it was. So
yeah, definitely. So some more advice for folks who maybe just tuning in and they're thinking, okay, well, I've been thinking about selling my house. What would you tell them to go ahead and?
I think the first thing, like I flat out think the first thing you should do is just call our office. But like you got to plan it out. You've got to figure out what you're going to do, next. And the prices are going up so high. If you've been in your house more than 2 years, when you sell it, you don't have to pay taxes on that income you get.
Okay.
If you've only been there like a year and you make a bunch of money on the house, which you could right now, you have to pay income tax on that gain. So, there's just a lot of things that we can sit down and talk about that would be planning of how to make it work as smooth as possible right now. Because selling the house is not the problem. It's what do you do next? What do you do to get ready to sell it? So
yeah, definitely. So 2 years is kind of the ideal.
Well, most people are waiting 3 to 4 to 5 years to sell.
Okay.
I think on average, but there's people right now that have been 2 years, and it might be time to make the next move already.
Yeah.
Interest rates are still so low that you might be able to jump up in house and get a bigger home and have roughly the same payment that you had gotten 3 or 4 years ago. So
yeah, and like you said, the military folks, come in and out, and it kind of goes in waves.
Yep.
So a lot of times,
I think it's like every 3 months the military will drop like moving orders. So we're just in one of those right now because again, we're selling a lot of houses still like off FaceTime, where they know they're moving here, they know they're going to need somewhere to live, and they cannot get out here to find a house. And even if they did, there might not be any houses to look at that day. Yeah. So we're FaceTiming showings. We're getting them that protection period where they can still come look at the house, get an inspection done, make sure everything's right before they have to buy it. So, and sometimes in some situations, people are even giving up that right to make sure they get the house. So I won't even do an inspection. Just let me buy it. So I don't know if I recommend that, but it is so tight trying to find a house that people are doing it.
Wow. So for the buyers right now, what advice would you give them? Because if they hear this and they're freaking out and they're like, oh no, what if
you just have to work with someone on your side. We're still selling lots of houses every day, every week. And it's because we're staying proactive in finding those houses. So it might be a house that's just coming on the market, haven't even hit, and we're putting them in touch with, getting them together. So
yeah, I was about to say, so you've talked about this before, but y'all kind of have meetings where you just say, hey, this is what.
Yeah, that's all we do in our meetings now is brainstorm on try to find houses. So because we have so many buyers that are looking, there's not enough sellers, so we're trying to put them together.
Yeah, and y'all have them, you have the information, I guess, say first before some of these other apps that are out there.
Yeah, well, we get they're all the websites they work quick now. The houses pop up. Sometimes we know about a house an hour before it goes on the website. So,
well, and that'll come in handy before those 17 minutes.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for another great show, great information. We've got some folks saying thanks here, and we definitely want to hear from y'all. So we are streaming live. Go ahead and drop your questions, and
we'll get them next week.
We'll go through them, and even if we'll get to them.
Yep,
one way
sure.
or another, we will get to them because we are streaming live on all of our pages, and of course the ERA page as well. So, any final thoughts, words?
Good luck if you're out there. But yeah, definitely give us a call, 481-0500, or stop by. We have an office on Avenue N and one on College Hills.
Okay. So
Yeah.
y'all are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Ryan, and we will see you next week.
Perfect.
All right. And we will see you next week. Have a great day.